Have you ever stood in front of your closet, quietly wondering why nothing feels quite right anymore? The dresses you used to love suddenly seem too tight, too bright, or too young. And the ones that do feel comfortable, sometimes they don't feel like you, the woman you still are on the inside. It's a strange in-between place, isn't it? You're wiser, freer, more comfortable in your skin than ever before. And yet fashion rarely speaks to that kind of beauty. But here's the truth. It's not about chasing trends. It's about rediscovering your presence, your ease, and that quiet elegance that turns heads for all the right reasons. After 60, your body may change, but your sense of style doesn't disappear. It simply asks to be dressed differently, with more softness, more grace, more intention. That's why in today's video, we're stepping into the world of dresses. Not just any dresses, but 5 timeless styles that work beautifully for every woman over 60. They're simple. They're flattering. They're comfortable. And most importantly, they don't try to hide who you are. They gently highlight the best of you, just as you are right now. We'll talk about fabric that moves with you, necklines that flatter, lengths that bring balance, and silhouettes that feel effortlessly right, from morning coffee runs to family dinners, garden walks to weekend outings. And by the end of this video, you'll see that feeling stylish doesn't require a closet full of clothes, just the right 5 dresses that know how to love you back. Especially the last one. It's a quiet favorite among women who always look put together, but never seem to try too hard. Let's begin. Some dresses don't shout, they whisper. And the meaty A-line dress is exactly that kind of whisper. It doesn't need ruffles or sequins to make an impression. It speaks through its shape, a soft, flowing A that begins gently at the shoulders, glides over the bust, and then quietly flares out just below the waist. This silhouette has been flattering women of every age for generations, but it becomes even more magical after 60. Why? Because the A-line dress understands a woman's body, it doesn't cling to places that have softened with time. It doesn't emphasize the parts we sometimes feel self-conscious about, like the tummy, hips, or thighs. Instead, it creates a sense of balance. It allows freedom of movement, and it invites grace back into the way you walk, sit, and carry yourself. For many women over 60, the challenge isn't finding something that fits. It's finding something that flows. The A-line midi dress does just that. But not all A-lines are created equal. Let's talk about length first. A true midi should fall anywhere between just below the knee to mid-calf. This length does 2 wonderful things. It elongates the leg line and provides coverage without feeling frumpy. When the hem hits just the right spot, not too short, not too long, it gives the illusion of height and elegance, even if you're wearing flat shoes. Now, on to fabric. This is where comfort and movement come into play. Look for materials like light cotton, viscose, soft jersey, or even linen blends if you prefer something breathable. Avoid anything stiff or heavy. You want the skirt to move with you, not against you. Prints or solids? That's entirely up to your mood. Solid colors in classic tones like navy, olive, dusty rose, or soft ivory are always elegant. But don't be afraid of a gentle floral or a small geometric print. They can bring subtle joy to your outfit without overwhelming your frame. If you're petite, keep the print smaller and more delicate. If you're tall or curvy, you can experiment with bolder patterns. Just be sure the dress still retains its graceful shape. Now let's talk styling. The beauty of the A-line dress is how easily it transforms. Throw on a light cardigan for a cozy Sunday brunch. Add a structured blazer, and you're ready for a casual meeting or a museum visit. Layer it with a scarf, belt it at the waist, or let it drape naturally. There's no wrong way to wear it. Footwear matters too. Think ballet flats, low wedge sandals, or ankle boots if it's chilly. Skip the high heels. The dress doesn't need them to make you look elegant. And here's something no one tells you. When you walk in an A-line dress that fits just right, there's a kind of sway that returns to your step. It's subtle, but it's powerful. It reminds you that elegance isn't about age. It's about movement, ease, and confidence. So if you haven't worn an A-line midi dress in a while, maybe it's time to try one again. You might be surprised how good it feels to wear something that doesn't demand attention, but quietly brings it anyway. And the next dress we'll explore? It's just as timeless, but with a little more edge and polish, especially for women who love a touch of structure. If there's one dress that every woman should own after 60, it's the shirt dress. Polished, yet easy. Refined, but never stiff. The shirt dress is like your favorite classic novel. Familiar, timeless, and always appropriate. At first glance, it may seem simple, like an oversized button-down shirt that became a dress. But when chosen with care, the shirt dress becomes a wardrobe hero. Why? Because it gives you structure without restriction. It frames the neckline with a smart collar. It defines the shoulders gently, and most importantly, it offers shape, often with a subtle tie waist or a flowy belt, while still giving your body room to breathe. For women over 60, that balance is priceless. You no longer want to squeeze into anything tight, but you also don't want to disappear in something shapeless. The shirt dress walks that line beautifully. Let's talk about fit and cut. You want it to skim the body, not cling. Look for one that buttons all the way down so you can adjust how open or closed you'd like the neckline to be. A midi length is ideal, falling just below the knees or mid-calf. This adds an elegant line to the body and pairs well with flats, loafers, or low-heeled sandals. Now on to sleeves, a detail that makes all the difference. Many shirt dresses come with rolled cuffs, elbow-length sleeves, or full long sleeves with button tabs for styling. For mature arms, this is a gentle solution. It provides coverage without heaviness, while still looking modern and clean. Fabric is where the real magic happens. A crisp cotton poplin offers that fresh, tailored feel for spring and summer. A soft tencel blend feels luxurious and drapes beautifully. And for cooler months, a shirt dress in denim, corduroy, or light wool blends gives you warmth without bulk. One of the shirt dress's greatest gifts is versatility. Wear it loose and flowing for a breezy daytime look. Add a leather belt and a structured handbag, and you're ready for lunch with friends or even a casual meeting. Layer it over leggings in cooler months, or wear it open like a light duster over a tank top and pants. Yes, it doubles as outerwear. For colors, stay with what flatters you most. A classic white shirt dress is always elegant. But don't overlook rich chambray, deep green, soft blush, or even subtle pinstripes or tiny prints. These tones are gentle on mature skin and create a calm, effortless presence. And here's a styling tip that adds instant polish. Add a silk scarf at the collar or a long pendant necklace. It frames the face and draws the eye upward, bringing out your natural glow. More than any other dress, the shirt dress makes you feel put together, even when you didn't have time to think about it. That's why women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond reach for it again and again. Because sometimes, elegance is just one button away. Coming up next, we're stepping into something a little more feminine and a little more flattering, especially around the waist. If you've ever wished for a dress that hugs in all the right places without ever feeling tight, you'll love what's coming next. Some dresses flatter your figure, others lift your spirit, but the wrap dress does both, often without you even realizing it. There's something about the way it crosses gently at the front, ties at the side, and drapes so naturally over the body. It feels like it was made just for you. Because in a way, it is. The wrap dress doesn't force itself into your shape. It shapes itself around you. That's why it has remained a quiet fashion icon for decades, ever since Diane von Furstenberg introduced it to the world in the 1970s. For women over 60, this style offers more than just beauty. It brings comfort, flexibility, and a renewed sense of femininity. Let's start with why it works so well. The wrap dress creates a visual waist, even if yours has softened over time. By drawing the fabric in at the side, it gently emphasizes your natural curves without squeezing or pulling. It highlights the bust, narrows the waist, and allows the skirt to flow over the hips with ease. This illusion is both graceful and forgiving. And the V neckline? It's a gift for mature faces, elongating the neck, softening the jawline, and drawing the eye upward. If you're someone who doesn't love the idea of showing your arms, many wrap dresses come with three-quarter sleeves or flutter sleeves, offering light coverage without bulk. Now let's talk about fabric. The key is drape. You want a fabric that flows, not clings. Look for jersey knit, rayon blends, or light crepe. They move gently with you and never feel stiff. And most importantly, they're easy to wear all day, from morning errands to evening dinners. For cooler months, a wrap dress in soft wool jersey or sweater knit provides warmth while keeping that feminine silhouette intact. Colors and patterns also matter here. Wrap dresses look beautiful in solids like deep plum, emerald, rust, or classic black. But they also shine in small prints. Think tiny florals, subtle stripes, or understated dots. Just be sure the pattern isn't too busy. You want it to enhance, not distract. As for styling, the wrap dress needs very little. It speaks on its own. A delicate necklace, simple earrings, and a pair of low heels or flats are all you need. On colder days, layer a light cardigan or a long-line blazer over it, or add a pair of tights and ankle boots for cozy sophistication. One more tip: choose a dress with a slightly asymmetrical hem or a soft ruffle at the bottom. It adds movement and makes every step feel a little more elegant. And here's a quiet truth many women discover. The moment you tie a wrap dress, you feel like you again. Not who you used to be, or who the world thinks you should be, but who you are now. Confident, gentle, beautiful. The wrap dress doesn't ask you to change. It simply meets you where you are and reminds you that elegance doesn't fade. Up next, we'll explore a dress that might surprise you. It's the easiest to wear, often overlooked, and yet, in the right fabric and shape, it can be one of the most versatile pieces in your entire closet. Sometimes, simplicity is the boldest statement of all. The sleeveless shift dress may not be the most dramatic piece in your wardrobe, but it might just be the most useful and the most quietly flattering. Straight, clean, and unstructured, this dress allows your body to breathe. No waistlines to adjust, no zippers to struggle with, just an easy, elegant silhouette that glides from shoulder to hem. For women over 60, this ease becomes more than convenience. It becomes a kind of freedom. There are days when you simply don't want to think about your outfit. You want something you can slip into and feel instantly pulled together. Not overdone, not underdressed, just right. That's what the sleeveless shift dress offers. Let's talk about why it works. The straight cut of the shift dress skims the body rather than hugging it. It doesn't cling to the waist, hips, or thighs, which can be especially welcome as our bodies shift with age. And because it falls in one soft line from top to bottom, it creates a long, lean silhouette without ever feeling tight. The sleeveless design, or soft cap sleeves if you prefer, keeps things light and airy, especially in warm weather. But don't worry if you're not comfortable showing your arms. This dress is made for layering. Add a soft cardigan, a linen blazer, or even a lightweight kimono. And suddenly, your look becomes not only more comfortable, but more refined. Now let's talk fabric. Because the shape is simple, texture becomes important. Look for materials with a gentle weight and a beautiful drape. Linen blends, rayon, soft cotton, or silky modal all work wonderfully. Avoid fabrics that are too stiff or too clingy. The charm of the shift dress lies in its natural flow. Length matters too. A shift that hits just at or slightly below the knee tends to be the most flattering. It covers enough to feel elegant, but still allows you to move freely and confidently. Color and print can completely transform the mood of a shift dress. A solid navy or warm taupe feels classic and understated. A soft blush or a dusty lavender adds a romantic touch. And if you want something livelier, try a subtle print, perhaps watercolor florals, tone-on-tone patterns, or a quiet geometric motif. Styling is beautifully simple. A long pendant necklace, a woven clutch, and flat sandals or loafers, and you're done. In colder seasons, pair it with opaque tights and ankle boots, and layer a fitted turtleneck underneath for extra warmth. The real beauty of the shift dress is that it lets you shine. It doesn't define your shape. It lets your movement, your smile, your energy take center stage. And isn't that what elegance is all about? If you've ever felt overwhelmed by ruffles, ties, or waistbands, the shift dress may be exactly what your wardrobe's been waiting for. It's calm. It's classic. And in its own quiet way, it's unforgettable. Next, we'll wrap up our dress journey with something cozy, stretchy, and surprisingly chic, perfect for colder days or just those moments when you want to feel held by what you wear. There's something deeply comforting about a knit dress. It wraps around you without pressure. It stretches with you, moves with you, and warms you, not just physically, but emotionally. For women over 60, the knit dress becomes more than just a seasonal favorite. It becomes a go-to for those days when you want to feel cozy and elegant at the same time. No stiff fabrics. No complicated fastenings, just softness, ease, and style, all in one. Let's start with what makes this dress so special. A good knit dress is made from soft, breathable fibers that gently contour the body without clinging. It provides shape without squeezing, warmth without weight, and style without effort. It's the kind of dress you can wear at home with slippers and a mug of tea and still feel beautiful. Or you can dress it up with boots, a scarf, and bold earrings for a dinner out and feel polished. That kind of flexibility is rare, but that's what makes knit dresses magical. Now let's talk fit. You want a knit dress that skims, not clings. Look for semi-fitted silhouettes, something that follows the natural line of your body, but still gives you breathing room. Avoid anything too body-hugging, especially if the knit is thin. Instead, go for medium-weight knits with a bit of structure. Ribbed knits, sweater blends, or cotton modal mixes are perfect. Length is key here. A midi knit dress, falling just below the knees or mid-calf, is universally flattering and easy to style. You'll get coverage, warmth, and grace, all in one line. Let's not forget sleeves. Long sleeves are a classic, but three-quarter sleeves or dolman sleeves can add interest and comfort. For cooler months, you can layer it under a duster coat, a poncho, or a long cardigan for extra coziness and visual texture. Now, colors and details. Knits look stunning in earthy tones. Soft camel, moss green, charcoal, or deep berry. You can also explore warm neutrals like heather gray, oatmeal, or dusty rose for a calming palette. Ribbed textures, subtle patterns, or even a small slit at the hem can make the dress feel more modern without being loud. Accessories? Keep them soft and intentional. A wide belt can define your waist and give the dress shape if desired. A scarf with a delicate print adds warmth and elegance. And for shoes, go with ankle boots, pointed flats, or even a sleek knee-high boot in cooler weather. The most beautiful thing about knit dresses is how they make you feel. They don't just dress the body, they comfort it. They remind you that softness and strength can coexist, that a woman doesn't need to prove anything to be seen. You've lived through decades of trends. Now you get to choose what feels right. And nothing feels more right than a dress that lets you breathe, move, and shine, exactly as you are. And there you have it. 5 dresses, 5 expressions of grace, comfort, and timeless beauty. But before we go, let's take a moment to bring everything together and talk about how finding your perfect dress is never about size or age, but about self-love. So now we've arrived at the end of our journey. A journey through 5 simple dresses that are anything but ordinary. Each one, in its own quiet way, tells a story. A story of ease, of grace, of the kind of beauty that doesn't scream for attention but simply is. From the gentle flow of an A-line midi dress, to the quiet confidence of a shirt dress, the soft femininity of a wrap, the effortless comfort of a sleeveless shift, and finally, the warm embrace of a knit dress. These are not just clothes. They are companions, pieces that walk with you through seasons of life, softening the hard edges, wrapping around you with familiarity, and reminding you that style doesn't have an expiration date. But as lovely as these dresses are, I want to leave you with something deeper, something more important than fabric, fit, or fashion. And that is this. The most beautiful thing a woman over 60 can wear is confidence. It sounds simple, but I know it's not always easy. Because let's be honest, the world doesn't always see women our age. Sometimes it feels like we've faded into the background. Like our voices are quieter, our choices invisible, our worth measured by outdated standards. But here's the truth they never told us. This is the age where you stop living for everyone else's expectations. You've spent decades being a daughter, a mother, a partner, a friend. You've given, supported, nurtured, and held it all together. And now is the time to dress for yourself. To look in the mirror and say, this is who I am, and I like her. Wrinkles, softness, stories, and all. Style at this stage of life isn't about looking younger. It's about looking more like yourself, the you who is wise, kind, joyful, curious, and unafraid. So yes, dresses matter. Comfort matters. Style matters. But not nearly as much as the way you carry yourself in them. Whether it's a flowy midi or a cozy knit, the real elegance comes from within. From knowing that you have nothing left to prove. From understanding that your value isn't hanging in your closet, it's living in your heart, your smile, your presence. So my gentle advice is this: wear what makes you feel like you. Choose clothes that let you breathe, move, laugh, and stretch your arms wide without apology. And above all, never let someone else's opinion shrink your sense of self. Because you're not here to blend in. You're here to be. And darling, you're doing just fine. If this video spoke to you, even just one small part, I'd love to hear from you. What's the dress that makes you feel most like yourself? Which one of these 5 do you already love or are curious to try? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts, not just with me, but with the beautiful community of women who, like you, are rewriting the rules of aging and style every single day. And if you enjoyed this gentle moment together, consider giving this video a like, subscribing to the channel, or even sharing it with a friend who might need a little reminder of her own beauty. Because the truth is, we're all in this together, learning, growing, and finding new ways to shine at any age. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and above all, stay you.